I think. Is it?
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Firstly, Serena Russo Group acknowledges the First Nations people from this country for the traditional traditional custodians connected to the land, water, and community on which we live, work, and help others to live their best lives. We also pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging who strive to build a better and more sustainable future for future generations to come. We've been lucky enough today to have Erin join us to give us a bit more information on resume tailoring and applicant tracking as well. And she comes as expertise from Serena Russo Institute. So thank you, Erin, for joining us. And I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. And thank you so much for having me, guys. It's really nice to see you all as well. So today we will be getting into resume tailoring and applicant tracking systems. So let's find out a little bit more about that. Okay, just going to the next slide. Okay, so what is a targeted resume? So the resume is specific to the industry you are targeting, and the cover letter is written especially for the job role with the particular company you are targeting. The content of both the resume and the cover letter highlights the ways in which you fit the role or the industry. So simply put, the goal of the resume is to get the applicant to the interview stage. So you really want to make sure that it does stand out at the end of the day. But I wanted to ask you, how long do you believe it takes an employer to really have a look through the resume and consider if they really want to actually keep reading? Let me know how many seconds you believe it might be.
I'd say 30.
Carolyn?
No, I reckon. Oh, no, it'll be less than about 5 seconds.
Carolyn, you are very close there as well. So can you believe that it only takes an employer 6.25 seconds to decide to continue to read your resume? So you really want to make sure you stand out at the end of the day. So it is a very, very a limited time frame. So that is why I'm going to give you some tips today to really make your resume stand out. You want to keep your resume to no more than 2 to 3 pages. The first paragraph should answer, how will I, as the employer, benefit from employing this person? Focus on what supports and highlights you are a good fit for the industry and the role. Include up-to-date and accurate contact information, including phone and a working email that you regularly check. Group similar job roles together and label them under a specific time period. You also want to keep your layout clean and well spaced as well. So you may also be thinking that your resume is perfect and that you have nothing else to add really. But if your resume is not currently getting to the interview stage, then it's simply not cutting it. So you really want to make sure that your resume stands out, and we want to enhance it as much as possible. So I always ask as well, most people in my class when I'm teaching, how would you place yourself on a resume status? From number 1, I don't have a resume, to 2, I have one, and to number 3, I have one, but I want to enhance it. Typically speaking, most people end up being number 3, and they absolutely want to enhance it and stand out that little bit more. But let's keep going. So this is just a quick breakdown and a guide of what to include in the resume. Beginning from your personal details, which should always be up the top of the page, your opening statement, so this is what's going to hook the employer into actually wanting to continue to read your resume, your demonstrated skills and abilities, your education, your employment history, and your referees as well. So, your opening statement. As we have just learned as well, it only takes an employer 6.25 seconds to decide to continue to read your resume. So the first thing that you really want to make sure is to stand out is going to be that opening statement. So writing your opening statement, you want to keep it concise. Aim for a brief and impactful statement that summarizes your professional background and your key qualifications. Highlighting your relevant experience. Focus on showcasing your most relevant skills, experiences, and achievements that align with the requirements of the position you're applying for. Tailor your opening statement to emphasize what sets you apart in relation to the job you're seeking. You want to use keywords as well. By incorporating relevant keywords and phrases from the job description to align your resume with the specific requirements of the role. This can help capture the attention of the hiring managers. Showcase your unique value. Clearly articulate what makes you a valuable candidate by highlighting your key strengths, accomplishments, and unique selling points. Emphasize how your skills and experiences can contribute to the company or the industry. You want to tailor it to each application as well, customizing your opening statement for each job application to align with the specific role and the company. Research the organisation to understand their values, goals, and the requirements of the position, and incorporate this knowledge into your statement as well. So we really want to keep in mind impacts of an applicant tracking system. Now I'll ask as well, have you heard of that applicant tracking system as well, Carolyn? What about yourself, Nicole? No? Okay, so
No.
it is a new tool that most employers in Australia actually do use now. So applicant tracking systems are AI tools that employers will use. So it really takes, I guess, it off their hands to really be going through each individual resume. Applicant tracking systems work by matching the keywords from the job posting to your resume. So you really want to make sure it stands out. So firstly, if the applicant tracking system does like your resume, it will move to the hands of an actual person. But this could be the reason why a lot of our resumes aren't actually getting through to the reader, because those keywords simply are not there in your resume. Therefore, it just gets dumped into a dark hole, so we never see it again. So we will go through a little bit more into applicant tracking systems. So the keywords, and I know I've banged on about it today, but they are so, so important when creating your resume. The higher the number of keywords in the application, the higher the ranking of your resume will be. Application date and time as well. So those jobs that you see on Seek that have been there for about 22 days, it really does matter when you are looking for roles that you are applying firstly. You want to be in ranked by the date and time received, and also a first in approach is used as well. Then contextual searches. So not just looking at the keywords, but at the words either side of the keywords. It also stops some of the older cheats. So I have had some people in my class that were aware of applicant tracking systems previously. What they were doing is they were taking keywords out of the application, highlighting it white, and popping it somewhere in the resume. Now, this can actually get you blacklisted as well from employers if they see you doing this as a cheat code. So you definitely don't want to be actually utilizing that. Therefore, you want to be adding those keywords in to your summary especially. So I am just going to keep going as well. This is a quick video as well, as I know applicant tracking systems are so important and really used in this day and age. Most of the time, I ask some of my participants if they believe after they've watched this video, if this maybe is the reason why they aren't getting to that interview stage. It's always 85% of people actually say, yes, I had no idea about applicant tracking systems. Now I know what they are, and I'm going to absolutely be utilizing this. So we'll watch a quick 5-minute video and then we will keep going on with the session. One moment, please. Alrighty. Is that screen sharing as well for you guys? Just let me know.
Yes, on my end it is. Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Alrighty. We are just going to watch this quick video as I believe it is very beneficial as well. And just to give us a little bit more of an idea about applicant tracking systems. Let me know if the sound comes through okay as well.
No sound on my
Yes,
end.
No sound on
sorry.
that one?
No,
That's
no
okay.
sound.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm not too sure as to why the sound isn't coming through, but what we might do is we'll keep going through the slides so we won't focus on this, but I will pop in the link to the video just in case anyone would like some more information about applicant tracking systems as well. One moment.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Alrighty, let me know if that link does come through okay for you.
Yep. Thank you.
Perfect. Alrighty. So what we are going to be doing now is we will be going ahead and we'll be having a look at what I like to call Peter Parker's resume. Now that name does come from, of course, the famous comics as well. And we're going to have a look at a
Spider-Man.
resume. Yeah. And we're going to have a look at a resume that we probably would want to stray away from. This activity always gives us a little bit more of an idea of what we would classify as a little bit more of a worse resume and then how we could really enhance it. So I'll bring that up right now. Actually, you know what? We'll have a look at, we'll have a look at Clark Kent's resume instead. That sounds good.
Okay.
I did not come up with these names either, guys, so please don't judge me. One moment, just while it is loading as well. We also have a good example of resume as well. You wouldn't believe it, it's Mary Jane. So so I'll just wait for it to load up. My computer is being a little bit laggy today, so please be patient with me while that loads as well. And then we'll go through of how that resume could be improved as well. Alrighty, I am just going to start sharing my screen. Apologies for the delay. For some reason, my computer has decided that it's 4 o'clock and it does not want to work anymore. So once it does come back on, I will start sharing my screen just for the example of a bad resume. So I will just quickly let it keep loading. Once it does come up, we will be able to share that. So shouldn't be too much longer, guys. Sorry about the hold up.
All good. Thank you.
What I might do is I'm just quickly sharing the file into the chat. If that does come through, would I be able to get someone to actually click on that and share the screen? Just because my ability to actually share my screen is not working at all. So if
All
someone could
good.
click on that,
Yeah,
yeah,
I should be able to
thank
do
you.
it. If you give me a
Awesome.
Is that working? Can you see?
That's it. Thank you so much. If you could zoom in just a little bit as well, Nicole, that would be wonderful. But here we have Clark Kent's resume. So I'll go through his professional summary, but first let's start on the details. There is something missing up the top of that. Do you guys have any idea what that could be? Just let me know straight away if it comes to you.
Yep.
Let me know, Carolyn.
Yeah, wouldn't you have just a title up the top saying resume? Or
More on his personal details, so I would probably be
Kent.
popping in his suburb. So he's got his phone number and he has got his
Oh,
email as well. But also we're thinking, where is he from? Now we don't have to actually pop our full address in there either, guys. We only need the suburb because
I've
that is
always,
completely fine.
sorry, Erin, I've always had I've always got a question mark around that one, and that can be a barrier. Example, I'm on the Sunshine Coast and I'm applying for a job in Brisbane.
Mm,
Now, I may be the best candidate for the position, but the minute they see I'm from the Sunshine Coast, and even though I've made up my mind I'm going to move, I may not get to an interview because they've already seen I'm from the Sunshine Coast. It's going to take me over an hour to get into the city or more, and they may just put my resume to one side. So I've never, my opinion, just me, I've never been inclined to put a suburb because
If you
Mm, yeah,
Sorry, you go ahead. If you believe it is a barrier, then I would absolutely not pop down your suburb
yeah,
there. If you think it's going to be something that is going to be, pop your resume aside. We
mm,
don't want to give the employer
no,
any kind of leverage to, I guess, say, no, let's go on to the next one. So if you think it's going to be a
okay,
barrier, absolutely leave that. Let's have a look at
okay,
his summary because it is going to be the first thing that draws in the employer's attention. So we've got his professional summary. I'm seeking employment which will provide me with the opportunity to develop work-based skills and knowledge. I'm dependable and reliable. I also possess strong self-management skills, together with the ability to work both independently and cooperatively as part of a team. Do you guys know what role he's applying for?
mm-mm,
Is it giving you any indication of what
no,
type of job he's targeting? It's very basic, isn't it?
yeah,
It's a bit
Too
vague.
too general. Yeah.
too general, yeah,
Very general, right? And what we've just learnt about applicant tracking systems is we need those keywords. Your employer's going to look at that and think, okay, so he's reliable, he possesses strong skills, but
mm,
really, what has he done in the past? How does it relate to the role that I've got? So we
mm,
really want to pop our hiring manager hat on and really consider what role you were trying to target and what you've got on your resume. Just by enhancing those little parts will make you stand out all the more to possible employers. Let's go down to his skills and personal qualities now. So he's got experience with a range of hand and power tools, experience operating site machinery, able to read and follow plans accurately, strong practical OH&S skills. Now, I don't really see anything kind of wrong with this, but I do see a lot of repetition. So we've got experience. We've got
mm,
able, and able as well. So we probably just want to change that up a little bit more as well. But
mm.
let's head on down to his work experience now. Perfect. So we have that he was working at Manly Employment and Training. He was doing a traineeship in construction and landscaping from 2017 to 2018.
Mm.
What would your critique be just on what he's got there so far for his work experience? How would you maybe enhance that a little bit more?
What were the actual job description of what he was actually doing, a breakdown of the duties.
Absolutely. So
Mm,
really, he was doing a traineeship in construction and landscaping.
mm,
But what were his duties? He was only there
mm,
for a year as well. We want to know exactly what he was doing, what he really took from that work
mm,
experience. So we would really, really want to be focusing that. Maybe add at least 4 lines of different duties that you had whilst there as well. But let's head on down to education and training now. So we've got Certificate 1 in construction. He's also got his workplace health and safety white card, as well as going from Justice High School, and he's completed Year 10. Is there anything that you would do to enhance this, or anything that you consider to be missing here?
mhm. Yes.
Let me know your let me know your feedback. Let me know your feedback, Carolyn. I love it.
Okay. Workplace health and safety white card. What
Mhm.
state for a starter? Because up
Exactly.
the top he doesn't tell us where he's from, and he
Hmm.
mentions no reference to what the job may be in his opening. Cert 1 in construction. Um,
Exactly
Maybe
like you
where
said
he
with the
did
white
it, or
card. Yeah,
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 exactly. We don't
what
yeah,
TAFE or
know.
college, or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. So just adding in those simple
Yes.
details as well will really overall enhance how your resume looks. So,
Mm,
and just like you said, Carolyn, where did he complete his safety white
mm,
card? Same as I guess, really you'd want to ask yourself. I know his resume is quite short, but
mm,
having your Justice High School there as well, he's completed Year 10. If he
yeah.
did have a little bit more of a bigger resume, we'd probably ask ourselves, is this necessary? Is it needed to pop that there? Is it
Mm,
relating to the role that I'm applying for as well? Now down the bottom, we've got his referees, which are available upon request. That is completely fine as well. You can
mm,
absolutely pop your references available upon request, or you can go ahead and actually list the references there as well. But just know that by popping the references on there as well, it does give that open door policy for the employer to go ahead and call them without getting your references prepared. So just note by actually popping them there, it really does give that open door policy as well. Another thing that I noted as well when looking at the resume overall, the formatting is a little bit strange. As you can see on the right hand of the side where work experience is, the 2 lines are
mm,
quite small and popped together, while on the other side it is a little bit bigger. By enhancing these simple qualities over your resume, it will show that you have that attention to detail. Therefore, your employer will think, oh, he's put a lot of work into this. I might actually want to get him to that interview stage. But really, that was all I had to go off today as well. So we've covered what to include in your resume, the applicant tracking systems as well, what we could improve on upon a resume that isn't necessarily bad, but could be enhanced as well. But does anyone have any questions before we finish up for the day as well? I know we've only got 20 minutes, so I wanted
mhm,
to try and get through it.
Just one from the beginning. Like
Mm,
those targeted words in
yes.
your resume, are they the words that are like in the job description in the position? So you would want to use some of those words on your resume. Is that what you meant by targeted? Okay, excellent.
Absolutely. So we want to sprinkle them through very lightly to get past the robot. So, and just know that as well, most companies these days do absolutely implement an applicant tracking system before it gets to the hand of the employer. So it just makes it easier on the employer. And to actually get past the applicant tracking system, we're using those keywords from the job application to show that it actually does flow through to to what you're targeting. So that's why we'd really want to pop in those words. So, but that is a link as well that goes into further detail about applicant tracking systems as well. But it is such a great thing to know
mm,
about because it does give you that
yeah.
knowledge, yeah, about how maybe your resume wasn't getting through just because of that simple thing. It could
Mm.
be something very simple like that. But thanks, Nicole. Carolyn, did you have any questions?
No, I just wanted to say I had no idea about that applicant tracking system. I had
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea.
Mm. It is
Wow.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I hope this rundown has been helpful anyways, to give you a little bit more information. I know it
Mm.
was only 20 minutes as well, and I'm very sorry about the computer being laggy before. It
Oh,
just was not loading for me, so I couldn't share my screen or anything.
that's
No,
Yeah.
that's
fine.
great. It's been
Oh,
very
yeah.
informative. Yeah.
I'm just
Okay,
going to
good.
stop recording now. All right.
Yes,
And
we'll do that.
John.